Good afternoon, good morning, buenos dias. I'm here with Gustavo Brambila, not just a Napa legend, but also a Latino hero for many. Gustavo, how are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you for asking. How are you?
We're doing fantastic. So you've got many fans around the world. People know you all over Napa Valley. Can you please tell us how life in Napa Valley was growing up?
Well, growing up, it was just like a old country farm lifestyle where like you see the haystacks, you see the cattle, you see the horses. That's how Napa was in the early years.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it was different.
Wow. And so you've been making wine most of your life, am I correct?
Well, most of my professional career, yes. Yeah.
So that is very impressive. So one thing that a lot of people don't know about Gustavo is that you were one of the first Latinos that graduated from UC Davis with a degree in wine fermentation. Is that right?
Actually, a little more towards fermentation science.
Yeah. Fermentation science. Okay, so I graduated with a degree in communications. So that's very broad. What made you so hyper-focused in that specific degree focus?
Well, it was mostly a promise that I made earlier in my, years, pre-teen years to my mother.
Wow. So fast forward, you've got a ton of wine here. Can you please tell us about each of your expressions?
Sure, absolutely. So we start out with what we call the king of the wines.
The Chardonnay.
Those we refer to as the queen. Chardonnay is the queen of the white grapes, and we have Chardonnay that I enjoyed making when I happened to be my first wine that I worked on professionally.
Really?
And so I became, just intrigued with the flavors that a Chardonnay can exhibit.
Gustavo, a lot of people know you from the film Bottle Shock, and Freddie here, the actor, what do you think of his performance? Was it good? Was it bad?
I think he did a very good job. I think he, portrayed myself as a easygoing, driven Latino winemaker, and with the skill set that was unique.
Yeah, I think one of the most popular quotes that stuck with a lot of viewers was that where Freddie's at the on top of the this racist truck, and he bends his antenna. I think that was like one of the most iconic scenes in the entire film. So I think that really helped Freddie, but also you really just stand out there.
Well, I think that was one of the. That was a scene where I had an issue, or when it was the original storyline, and I told the writer, I said, this is not portraying a Latino in a good way. Because the portrayal is that because we're bending this this antenna, we're hot-tempered.
Right.
We let our emotions get away from us. It's not that at all. And so I like to think that if you can compete with use anger and diffuse it with a few choice words. And that's what I asked Freddie to do.
And you have here a bottle from Chateau Montelena. Can you please tell us, because a lot of people were curious, what was your hand in producing that very, very popular Chardonnay that's in the Smithsonian?
I was not involved in the actual wine, winemaking or production of it. I was just a product of being there at the right time.
Wow. We're here with Gustavo Brambila, a legend. You're actually in the Smithsonian, is that correct? Almost left that out. It's a huge deal.
You know, that was a great honor to be selected in the Smithsonian. I think it's a complete turnaround. You know, it's like a circle where the individuals who are in the Smithsonian that, you know, I was, as a kid, followed, and Andrei Chalichev, Mr. Gergitz, and then all three of them had a, you know, all two of them had a family connection to our family, and now I'm there, and it's a complete circle.
Okay, Gustavo, so you mentioned that your first ever wine was a Chardonnay, and ironically, the Chardonnay that won the Judgment of France was actually a Chardonnay from Chateau Montelena. Can you please tell us your experience working at Chateau Montelena during that time?
Well, it was a learning experience. It was kind of my first couple months, and there was a lot of apprehension of a grad coming from UC Davis, working at a facility that's at that time frame didn't have graduates that were trained in winemaking with a degree in fermentation science, or even specialized in enology, you know, the science of winemaking. And so they thought I was a threat immediately. And so I just had to be honest with them, and I said, I don't come here to take your job. I come here to learn, because there are some things that we were not taught in Davis that you have, knowledge that I want to learn from you.
So you mentioned friction early on when you first started out with Montelena. Can you please tell us a little bit about what types of friction or issues that some Latino winemakers have received and are receiving in Napa Valley?
Well, I think it's mostly, that we don't have it in us to be able to make a high-profile wine. That we don't have that, that training, and we don't have that skill set. That we don't have that background, education, and so forth. And those are things that I had to overcome.
And we're going to try some of your wine in a second, but a question that pops into my mind is, do you think that a glass of wine can capture the essence of Gustavo Brambila?
Oh, absolutely. It's simply because what I create is what, is who I am. Is an unpredictable person. Wine offers a promise to deliver. Our wines have a message about uniqueness.
Okay, and right over here we actually have your Merlot. If we could follow me here. Can you please tell us a little bit more about this wine here? What makes it so special?
This Merlot, I think we got to a point. We got a Merlot that is, fresh, fruity. It has represents the Napa Valley, represents the appellation, and also represents the vintage. And so to me, our wines are put together to be able to stand up to the European wines. And so to me, I always have this background sense of the Judgment at Paris.
Okay, so in that same vein, I want to ask you, so people that consume wine, they instantly have that connection with Europe or European wines and whatnot. Do you think that a consumer one day will say, this wine is not just from Napa, but this wine is really darn delicious from a Latino?
That is That is a.
That is the fight that we're doing now, right?
That's right. That is that's where the difficulty is the actual word Latino. Many individuals have a hard time. They don't have a hard time saying it. They have a hard time using it, applying it to an individual who actually put the product on the table. And I don't know why it is. It's just that it's not a common thing. It's not an acceptable kind of thing. So the image isn't quite right.
We recently saw Harvest Season, a documentary by PBS. There was a terrible fire, 2019. Have you recovered? What has happened since that disastrous event?
So when that fire represented the first actual threat to the wine vineyards of the Napa Valley, and we did not have, I guess we didn't prepare ourselves for anything like that because we never thought, a big fire like that would ever have an impact on the wine scene or the vineyard scenes here in Napa Valley. And as a result of that fire in 2017, the impact of it was unknown, and it was unmeasured, and we just didn't have enough knowledge, enough information to kind of make sense of it at all, but other than, physically seeing that there's, like ashes are falling from the sky, and there's smoke is everywhere, and some vineyards burned as a result, but many of those winemakers at the time went ahead and made some wines from it without understanding the final impact of it.
How does it feel getting all of this acknowledgement, all of these awards? How does it feel to put Latinos in a positive light when many of them may not have someone to look up to or anything for that matter? So how does it feel to be a Latino change maker?
I think you have to know that there's always someone challenging you to do better. The trick is not to wait for them to tell you this. The trick is do it yourself. Yeah. If you know you did something great today, you should know that you can do better tomorrow.
Gustavo, wrapping up here, Tierra Luna Cellars. It is a wine from Jose Hernandez, who is an astronaut, but who was a former farm worker.
Okay.
How does it feel to know that there are some empowering Latinos that have an awesome legacy, but are now creating wine?
I think that is the key to the Latino movement. We did what we did, which is fine, and now we just have to go forward, and that's what we do. It's past is past. We just need to go forward, and we're grateful for the past, but we can't. We just can't stay there.
Right. Always moving ahead.
Yeah.
And the wine is fantastic, both Jose Hernandez and yours. So you guys are moving ahead and really changing the game, not just in Napa Valley, but also for the world, really. And if people want to come visit, you're like in the heart of Napa Valley. Can you please tell us where people can find you? Where are you?
Well, actually, we're right in what we call the Oxbow district of downtown Napa. The location is at 1021 McKinstry Street here in Napa.
Awesome. And is it walk-ins only, or do they have to make reservations?
No, we encourage all of our customers to come, and all our visitors to just, we welcome all, whether they want to take the time to make an appointment, and whether they don't have time to make an appointment, we welcome them all.
And people are going to come here expecting Gustavo Brambila, but sometimes you won't be here. But we do have here Victor, who has actually been making, or been a wine enthusiast for over 50 years, yeah?
Sommelier since 1976.
Wow. So when Gustavo is not here, people should still be happy because you know a lot about wine.
Yeah, in general, I'll be here all the time. Gustavo is at the winery. He's the winemaker, of course. I'm the wine drinker.
He's the one that's convenient. We love that.
He likes to make wine. I like to drink it, you know. I like to share with people my experience, you know, as a sommelier. I've been a sommelier since 1976.
Wow. So when people come, make reservations or do sit-ins, can they call ahead of time or what's the website?
It's a good idea in general, but if they come here and we're not packed or anything like that, we're happy to take them anytime, yeah.
Very good. And you offer flights? You can buy bottles as well?
We open different flights. We sell wine by the glass as well. And of course, you want to buy a bottle of wine. Ultimately, is the objective. You know, you taste your wines. You like something, you take it with you. That's the idea.
Victor, thank you so much. Gustavo, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Come by Napa, not just for the wine, but also to meet a Mexican superstar.